Hey y'all, it's your girl Koryn Hawthorne, and you're watching Gospel Goodies TV.
Gospel Goodies.
Gospel Goodies. Gospel Goodies.
This is Gospel Goodies.
First and foremost, congratulations on the new album. I know you just told me how you were feeling, but how are you feeling overall about everything about to happen?
I feel overall pretty good. This was like a really overwhelming week for me, just release week and then personal things that's going on in my life. But I think ultimately I'm like really excited about it because I know that God has a plan with this album, and overall he has a plan for my life, but he also has a plan for this season. I feel like we're all going through the same thing with the being in the middle of the pandemic, the issues in the world, just so many crazy things that are going on, and I know that God's plan is just so much bigger than what we could see, and I think that I'm excited to play my part, in this, and I'm excited to release this album, and hopefully it brings healing to the world and in people's lives and in their hearts, and just encourages them to go deeper with Jesus and live y'all best life. That's what I hope happens from this. But I'm excited. As you can see, wide range of emotions. But overall, I'm excited.
I love it. I'm really excited for you because kind of following your journey and seeing you blossom has been pretty awesome to document, like as a writer and interviewer. I think last time I talked to you was I guess it was like, if this is 2020, I guess it was 2018 at Stellar Awards.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
It's been a little while, look.
Yeah. And all these new things happening. And I know I'm probably late to the party, but I just realized a few weeks ago, and I actually did a post on this too, that you and Brianna Babineau were singing together in some of those old viral videos from a few years ago. And my mind was literally blown because I was like, dang, look at this full circle moment.
That is so crazy. And even for her, shout out to Bri in this second, just for all the things that she's accomplishing and she's doing, the growth that she has had since those videos. But yeah, not many people, they realize that they're always like, Koryn, is that you? So can we set the record straight right here for everybody wondering that was me in the video. So yeah, we will all get together and worship. And now, like you said, full circle. So just glory to God for those things. And shout out to Bri, love her.
Yeah, that's dope. And like I said earlier, you've accomplished so much in so little time, from The Voice to a Dove Award, Stellar Award, Grammy nomination, hosting the Stellars.
Yeah,
that's huge. And now you're 2 albums in now. How's it feel to be creating the things creating things, working with the people you admire coming up, who have accomplished some of the things you're accomplishing now?
Yeah, shout out to Kirk Franklin, who is and has been just an idol and inspiration. I'm not gonna say an idol, but he's been just such a big inspiration of mine, and being able to work with him hand in hand. I went on tour with Kirk last year, and I just got to learn so much just by watching him and watching his show, and just seeing the type of person that he is on and off stage. And he's just the best. Koryn, what do you need? Do you have any questions? This is that. So he's just been super supportive. And on top of that, I've always loved and looked up to him. So I think that it's dope to get advice from him, and also know that he thinks that what I'm doing is dope. It's come on, you're Kirk Franklin, bro. You like my stuff? Dope. And also Donnie McClurkin, who is a legend in gospel music. I did a sample for one of his songs on the new album, Speak to Me. So I took a sample from his song, Speak to My Heart, and he had to approve that. So, just to have people kind of in my corner and okaying what I'm doing means a lot. But I still have a long way to go because I'm just 22. So I can only hope to do what they've done and more, hopefully. But yeah, I'm just excited to be here and to see the plan of God over my life unfold. I think that's what's important, is to make sure that I'm doing what he wants me to do in this season and in this time, because times are changing. So I think about that a lot. What is the role that you want me to play here? And as long as I do that, then we are good money. But it's a journey and I'm learning. So
awesome. And reaching the people. I see that the gold cert behind you.
Girl, you know what? This is not a flex. This is the best part of my house. So hallelujah. I'm trying to give God the best of me. Yeah, that's a crazy thing right there.
Yeah.
God has just been so good. And that's from Won't He. Girl, it's been a long time coming a little bit from Won't He Do It. Some people are still playing that record, so I know that they probably feel excited about the new music. But for me, I was so young like whenever I recorded that song, Won't He Do It, was for Greenleaf Own, which it might have been like the second season for Greenleaf. So it's just been such a long journey coming from that, and I've grown so much from that, and I just hope that this music is the good, you know, next step from that. And yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, I still play Won't He Do It. It's like the perfect workout song too. Like I do this whole yoga routine in the morning, and that song is definitely on that list.
I love that. I feel like Won't He Do It is like, it's a perfect all-around song. You can work out to it. Like when you get up in the morning, you need to start your day. Won't He Do It? After I had a long day and I need some encouragement, Won't He Do It? Okay, it's the perfect all-around song. So that song is gone. I can't get sick of it. I think I'm gonna be singing that for the rest of my life.
For sure. So first it was Unstoppable. Now your second album is here. It's titled I Am. Well, it'll be here on Friday. Titled I Am. So where's the name come from?
Oh, that name really came out of nowhere. It's so random, but like, you know, I'm a spiritual person, you know, and I like to like stay in tune to like what God is telling me. And you know, that name kind of was thrown out there, and after I sat on it for a while, I was like, yeah, this is it. I think it kind of speaks to how I'm so strong on identity. I've always been strong on identity and purpose and what God has called for me. And I think being young, I didn't think that I could do gospel music. Although I was born and raised in church, worship is the center of my heart. I was like, I don't know if I can do gospel music because I felt I was too different. I felt my sound was too different. So we talked about The Voice and going through that journey, and that kind of built up my confidence more. And then I got signed to the label, and it built up my confidence a little bit more. But I think that I'm in the season where God is telling me, no more doubting. This is where I have placed you. This is what I have called for your life. You are exactly who I said you are. No ifs, ands, buts about it. It is. And when you step into that mode and what God has called and spoken and chosen over your life, you can move in it confidently. And this is when the chains are being broken, right? This is whenever I'm being victorious over the things He has called for me. Because if I get to doubt, right? Oh, I don't know if this is what I'm supposed to do. This is how the devil comes in and he delays those things over your life. So I think that is where I Am comes in. Is I am who He says I am. Yes, I am going to do this. I am supposed to be here. And devil, do not play with me, because it is what it is. So I'm just hoping, you know, that is the energy, and prophetically, you know, we speak that over people's lives, especially in this season. For such a time as this, where you created, and for such a time as this, God is calling people. He's calling you to the front. We don't have no more time to waste and kind of just continue to doubt. And I don't know. No, now is the time. So I just hope that like that whole energy is like, you know, a lot to unpack. But, you know, I just hope that prophetically the energy of that, like it just goes through people and it pierces their hearts. And they can confidently move in whatever it is that God is calling them to do. Because that's what life is about. It's about you discovering who you are in Him. And the only way that you can do that is by knowing Him. So it first starts with relationships. So like when I know God, I know myself, right? Yeah. So I don't know. It's a little box to unpack with that. I can go so deep into it, but I just felt that it was the perfect title for the album. And I just hope that deeper, you know, like even if explaining it, people might not understand it, but like spiritually, like with the music, that it just overrides all, you know, brain thoughts and fleshly thoughts and just goes into the spirit and does what it needs to do. So that's as simple as I could put it. I hope I explained it well.
No, you did. And let's talk about Speak to Me, which kind of alludes to what you just mentioned too. We've been playing it every Sunday on Gospel Goodies Radio in our new music hour. And there are 2 comments I always see. So the first one is, was that a Migos sample? And the second one is, who's this song about? So yes, we know that's a dope Migos sample. But let's talk about who the song is about. And I personally love the duality of it. It's like a love letter to God, but it sounds like it could be like a love letter to your boo too. So
right. A Migos sample. That
Walk It Like I Talk It.
Oh, Walk It Like I Talk It. Wanna get I swear that is my first time actually thinking about that.
Wow.
I did not think about that. That's dope. Y'all are dope. You are like, this is my dog moving in the background if y'all see her. But Yo, this song for us, you know, we definitely got the sample of the track from Donnie McClurkin, so shout out to him again. And this was, like you said, a love letter to God. Shout out to Jonte Austin because he wrote this song. He is a legendary writer, producer, all the above. And I think the idea behind it was literally, because I'm so big on personal relationship with God. I'm 22 years old, and I get so many young people coming to me asking me questions like, hey, like, how do I pray? Like, am I supposed to, like, get on my knees and pray, or do I have to do it at a certain time? So I think my idea of it was to kind of shed light on what my relationship with God looks like. And it might not be traditional, it might not be super religious, ritualistic. It's literally, look, I want to wake up to you. Look, tell me if you rocking with this. You understand? Like, I talk to God in the most come as you are is way ever. And I think that was the first idea behind it, was this is literally a love letter to God. And we wrote it with that intention, solidly, like purely. And then after, like, I didn't look at it in a different perspective until the video came, until it came out, when people were like, huh, who is this song about? It's so crazy because I never thought about it in that light until we got the director's feedback, and he was like, yo, I think it'll be dope. I don't know if y'all saw the video, but we definitely have like a little guy friend love interest in the video, and we kind of played off of it a little bit. And if you can see, we're sitting in the living room and we're reading the word and we're going into it. So after we thought about it deeper, it's like, this is a love letter to God. But honestly, if you think about any relationship in your life, whether it's with your family members, whether it's with your boyfriend, with your husband, only God can teach us how to love other people, because God is love. So I think then the narrative changed to, yes, this is how I speak to you. This is my relationship with you. But because of that, this is how I'm supposed to love other people. And I think that is so dope because, like I said, I'm 22. I don't think there's enough conversation about Christian dating. I don't know if we even really know how to do it. All we know is get married, okay? But what about the dating process, and what is that supposed to look like? So I thought that it was really dope to take that time to encourage with Christian dating, keeping God at the center of your relationships, no matter who it's with your family, with your boyfriend. If you're trying to get married, keep God at the center, and it'll work out whether you're supposed to be together or not. If God is at the center, thank you, promise, for that. If God is at the center, it'll work out. And like you said, people are kind of like, they hit me up and they're like, oh, like, I love this is perfect for my relationship with God. And some people are like, I'm playing this at my wedding. I'm like, you go ahead and do that, okay? But all I know is that we planted it on solid ground. It's for God. And now that, like, we're getting different perspectives, we're like, that's dope. We didn't even think about it like that. But yeah, I mean, you can sing it to your boo as long as you know how to love God first, okay?
Exactly. So, that's good. And speaking of relationships, you, ma'am, talk about some good stuff on your Instagram lives, especially pertaining to relationships. So if it's okay with you, I want to have a little girl chat real quick.
Come on. Yes.
Nothing crazy, just a little Q&A.
Okay, cool.
But so let's start with your favorite love song. What's your favorite love song?
What is my favorite love song? I think Sure Thing by Miguel is like, I love that song.
That's a good one.
I like Sure Thing by Miguel. I also like Share My Life. Who is that by? I don't know who that's by, but it's
Kim?
Share My Life, Trust in Me. I'm playing that at my wedding, like off top. Gotta be done. Share My Life is like, that's how I would want somebody to feel about me. So that's kind of how I be looking at love songs. It's like, oh, I hope you know. So yeah, Sure Thing and Share My Life would be my top two.
Perfect. And what's one love song you have to turn off when it comes on because it's just a little too deep? So like for me, it's Brandy, Have You Ever? Like I love her and I love that song, but when that song come on, I be in my feelings a little bit. So what's that one for you?
Die With You, Beyonce. Die With You by Beyonce is too deep for me. I will cry. Like I can't. And like just being like off the top stuff, almost because like I can only relate that love to loving God. And I don't know if it goes something deep within myself, but I'm just like, I don't know if I will ever find somebody that will make me feel that way, or that feels that way about me and it makes me want to cry. Like, does that love exist in human form? Because I only feel it with you, God. So I think that's, I don't know, that's a conversation to have right there. But Die With You by Beyonce is too much for me. I can't. I hope to find a love like that in human form one day, but I don't know if it's possible. But I got it with Jesus, so I'm good with that.
Yeah, as long as you got it with Jesus, it'll, like, you know, right? You know the bar of it.
Exactly, but it get me in my feelings, like, for sure. It's like, God, I can only feel this way much.
And what's the biggest lesson life taught you about love?
Love comes in so many different forms. If we're speaking relationship-wise, I think that I've learned that there's no such thing as perfect, like, at all. Nobody's gonna have it all together. And I think knowing how I want somebody to love me is how I try to love other people. Like, through my flaws, through my ups and my downs, I would rather somebody, like, see, like, the good in me and love me past that. I think that that's what's important to me, is, especially being who I am, is that, like, I hope that I would find somebody who, like, authentically loves Koryn, like, over it. So yeah, I don't know. That's what it's loving somebody despite. Like, that's the best love. You know, if I'ma give you that love, God give you that love. You just hope that you can, like, give that to somebody else. And also, communication is, like, really important. I think that a lot of people don't, like, think deeply into, like, relationship. They think that you can find somebody, you just want somebody to take you out on a date, all that good stuff. Y'all get in arguments, but it's like, I've learned, like, through, like, relationships, like, communication is, like, key. Especially in this generation, we don't like to talk about our feelings, like, at all. Nobody is, you mad and you just mad, and you don't really want to tell your significant other that what they said to you hurt your feelings because of this, that, and the other, or you might have deeper issues. But, like, communication is important, and if somebody really cares about you, they're gonna listen and they're gonna adjust to that. So yeah, girl.
Yeah, that is a deep one. We could go on and on about communication. It's crazy.
Woo! That is deep. Yeah, communicate, y'all. You love somebody, tell them how you feel, be open from the jump. I think that, and, like, it's so sad because I'm telling you, like, my friends with, like, dating, because I'm 22, and this generation, it's so hard, like, to just express. I'm not that person. I'm gonna tell you how I feel, like, off top, but like I don't know why it's such, like, an uncomfortable thing. Like, you don't want to show no type of emotion. Like, it's just like, yeah, but I don't want to seem like I'm doing too much. Do too much, okay? Because you're not about to waste my time. So if I'm too much, leave me alone. I'm gonna tell you how I feel. But that's kind of like sad. Like, even with guys, like, they don't really want to express their feelings, or they don't want you to express your feelings because they might feel like you're doing too much. I don't like that. You know, bring back.
And I think we're kind of in this generation of not too many options, but I feel like with social media and just people feeling like they have all those other options, it's like you're kind of competing, and I feel like it just messes the whole game up.
It really does, to be honest. We're desensitized, and it's not logical and it's not real, but social media,
Yep, and paying attention to how people respond when you do communicate with them. That's a key too.
Yeah, because if they, like, they're not accepting of it, or, like, they don't want to hear it, or I don't know. I'm telling you, we really can go on and on about this, but and even for me, it's like, how do I respond when somebody tells me something? You know, like, a lot of times, like, you just don't want to be at fault, but, like, I feel like a lot of arguments is simply just because we both want to understand each other. Like, I don't feel like it always has to be I was wrong, or, like, you were wrong. But if you understand somebody, like, that makes the world of a difference. You wouldn't even have to apologize to me if you understood how I felt. Like, hey, I can even, and not even in relationships, I go through this with my mom, where I'm like, Mama, just understand what I'm trying. I just want you to understand, right? Yeah. That we just want to be understood. So I think that I kind of take that into perspective. Like I said, outside of dating with my friends, like, I got an argument with it's helped me, like, with my friends, to say, hey, look, you took it this way, and that's not even what I meant. And I understand how you could feel if you took it that way. Listen, I get it. I understand it. Like, Let's fix it. Let's talk about it. So communication is literally the key to all relationships, and back to God too. That's why prayer is supposed to be like such an essential part of our everyday lives, because communication is just like so key for him to understand. Like, that's what Speak to Me is about too, is I'm talking to you about every single area of my life and you're speaking back to me. My favorite lyric in that song is, I promise to be honest when I speak to you. And you can do that with God, and you can do that in relationships. Be honest about how you feel, like with God. I think that like in prayer, like we only talk about like bad stuff. Like when you need help, it's like, oh God, forgive me, or can you help me with this, or can you do this for me? But am I literally being honest with him about the desires that are good and that are bad? Like, God, actually, I like that, and I want to do that. Be like, do y'all be honest with God about how y'all feel? Like, it is what it is. If you got a problem with smoking weed, you need to be honest with him and tell him, I like the way that I feel when I'm high. Help me. Like, right? Like, not just
talk
like,
about it.
I know it's bad and I know I'm not. No, you like it. You like to do what you're doing. So you need to be honest with him. And I don't know if it's too real, but baby, the truth will set you free, and God already know your desires anyway. So you need to be honest with him about that, so we can get to the source of the issue and we can fix it. Why do you like it? And then you understand that you were born in sin and you were shaped. Girl, I will preach on this. I will preach on that.
Go ahead.
And you were shaped into iniquity. So then you understand a lot of things is like, it's my human nature to want what my flesh wants. But there's a higher power that is stronger to help me to deny those things. That's the gospel. Yeah. You know, but that's a whole nother topic. I could go, like, this whole communication thing will flip into something else. But overall, y'all, be honest with people in your lives, communicate, and be honest with God about the things that you're going through, because we all go through things. And the only way that we can help it get better is if we're honest about it. It's like the first step is admitting. So yeah.
That's true. And then also, like, kind of speaking to healing too, because like we'll think where people are over things, but like you're not, because that's why you're still upset. So like, you got to talk to God about that too sometimes.
That's true. You don't be over it. I got a lot of stuff I'm over. You just got to be honest about it. Yes, you gotta like make it. That goes back to like desensitizing your emotions. It's cool, but it's not. If something really hurts you, you should go and talk to that person about that. And sometimes it's hard for us to do that. I dealt with that, like with family and so many different things that I had to address, because it will make you bitter if you don't. If you let that thing sit up on the inside of you,
you gotta talk about it.
Bitter, and it will translate into your relationships with your husband, your boyfriend, it'll go deep. That thing will uproot itself. So you have to expose it so it can be pulled out. We preaching to somebody today. Somebody.
Right. So lastly, then how would you describe God's love?
Can you describe God's love? Grace. I think the gospel is grace. It's the fact that no matter what I do, no matter how many people I sing the gospel to and save, or how many, I read the word, I wake up every morning and I follow A to Z, I will never be enough. And that's just off the strength of how good God is and how big and massive his love is for me, is that I don't deserve it. And there's nothing that I could ever do to deserve it. I'm not enough. And it's humbling, because we go through life and we think that we have been in church for however many years and I got a gold record, won't he do it, etc., etc., etc. You're not enough. Like, it's humbling. There's nothing that I could ever do to be enough for you. But you love me anyway. And that's all I could say to that. That, I think if you sit and ponder on that, I mean, we live a life where it's like work up to achieve goals, or you got this amount of money and then I'm established, or if I accomplish this, that, and then I'm established. And you get to an end point, there is none with the love of God. There's nothing that you could ever do for him that will be enough. And that's just how good he is from the beginning of time. Ever since Adam and Eve sinned in that garden, baby, it was done for. It was done. But Jesus came and he died on the cross for your sins. Because of that, you were done for. Before Jesus died on the cross for your sins, you was done. You was done. There's nothing that you could have done. Okay? Nothing. But he did it anyway, and he took on the weight of every sin. Anything you could have ever done, He took on that weight for you. And that's the love of God right there. And I can't describe it, but I could tell you about it. That's the love of God.
So I hope you guys watching are taking notes, because all of this has been super amazing. Thank you for that, Koryn.
Thank you, baby.
But before we go, can you tell people one more time how to get the album and where they can follow you for more information on what's coming up?
Yes, you guys can get the album on all streaming platforms, wherever you buy music, Apple Music, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon Music. Y'all can get this album. Please go and check it out. Follow me on social media at Koryn Hawthorne, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and let me know what y'all favorite song is on the album. And I just pray that it blesses you in this time. And know Jesus, y'all, so you can know yourself. Period.